Hello everybody, it's your boy Rafsonk. Welcome to your 12th Intermediate Lewis scripting tutorial. I know I promised a video must have been 2 weeks ago. I'd let you guys know how Octopus went and everything. It didn't go too great, but it's not over yet. I can't tell you guys what's going on, but something is gonna happen that is positive for Octopus, and you guys will find out later. So that's that. It didn't go too well, but it's not over yet. I don't know why I haven't made a video on this before. I mean, I'm pretty sure I must have mentioned MarketplaceService in some earlier videos, but you know, maybe not. Someone gave me the idea to do this the other day, and this is some stuff you guys need to know. So, what is Marketplace Service? Marketplace Service is how we handle, it's how we handle prompting transactions. It's how we handle giving players items from the transactions. You can do it. You can use it to get information from assets on the site. Like in Octopus, I use it. I use it to. What do I use it for? In the radio game pass to check if the ID the player is entering is a valid sound. Right. Okay. Right. So, I got notes on my phone of what I was going to talk about. Okay, first. I'm going to make a local script. Local player equals players of local player yes. Okay. Script.parent job text button mouse button one click. So contrary to maybe not so popular belief, but I've seen this done before, you don't have to use a remote event, even in a filtering enabled environment, to prompt a purchase. I'll show you what I mean. Stupid spammers. I don't think I've even checked the group wall today. Let me check this group wall while I'm at it. Okay, back to what we were doing. I'm gonna copy the asset ID from the radio in Octopus. MPS prompt purchase, not purchase, player, and the asset ID we're using. Prompt purchase is used to prompt the purchase of any asset besides a developer product, because technically I guess that's not an actual asset. We pass in the player object, so the local player, and the asset ID of what we're prompting. It can be a sound, a model, a game pass like I'm doing, a place. You can prompt a place purchase if it's a paid access place. Just about anything you see in your inventory that can be owned. So prompt purchase is not used for developer product purchases. I will get to that in just a minute. So, what do you know? So yeah, this is not meant to be used in a server script. You don't need to use a remote event for it. Just always prompt through a local script. Now we're gonna go with prompt product purchase. And just gonna grab a random developer product ID from Octopus. And you'll see that it's gonna prompt a developer product purchase. In Studio, it gives you test purchases now. They made that update a while back, so it's not. Okay, nice. It doesn't charge Robux from your account. I'm gonna make a server script now. Looking at my notes again, because I'm a scrub. Okay, now I'm gonna go over. First, I'm gonna go over prompt purchase finished. I think that's how the arguments went. Okay. Okay. Print. Let's print all these. First, I need to see if this is meant to work in a server script. I forget if it's meant for a server script or meant for a local script, because I know you can use it in both. I'm like 99% sure of that. What? Oh. Wait. Shoot, wrong window. Okay. Yeah, my bad. I meant to prompt purchase that. If you try to prompt product purchase an asset, or vice versa, you'll get this warning. Sandwich. Okay. Alright, so it can be used server-sided. Since we already have a variable named player, I just wanted to rename it. Let's see if it works client-sided as well. Pretty sure it does. Yeah, so it'll print the same stuff on the server as the client. So prompt product finished is an event that you can bind to MarketplaceService. And basically, it fires when a player finishes a purchase prompt, as the name implies, whether they press buy now or they press cancel. That dictates the is purchased argument. So this is if you want to give players perks without them having to rejoin your game. Because you know a lot of games, not very well scripted games, it says read after you buy this game pass, rejoin or something. So usually what you want to do is if is purchased, then if asset ID equals radio, then else if asset ID equals something else, then I don't know if you guys heard that thunder outside, but it's not even raining, it's really sunny. That's weird. So yeah, you want to just check if the purchase went through. It'll be either true or false. That's the same thing as if is purchased equal true, blah blah blah. Then you want to check all your asset ID possibilities and then give them whatever you want to give them. In Octopus, I think I have this event binded on the server and the client because I want to, client side, I want to clear the path through the mountains for them to get to the VIP island. Because that's something client sided I have to do. So you can bind this to your local script and a server script at the same time to give perks at the same time instantly, it's good. So you can, since this is an event, you can bind multiple functions to it, but now we're going to look at something called MarketplaceService.process receipt. So this is a callback that occurs when a player completes a developer product purchase. Speaking of which, product, I'm gonna grab that asset, not asset ID, that ID again. So you can sort of think of it like an event, but it's not an event. You can only have one process receipt function in your entire game, not including a game universe, but that per place in a game, because this is a callback and it can only be set once. That's like saying equals blue equals true, print tab dot blue equals false, print tab dot blue. It prints true and then it prints false. So basically, print true, print false. So basically, if we write another process receipt function in anywhere else in our game, then it's going to overwrite the first time you wrote it, or the previous time that you wrote it, and it's going to overwrite that with, what you just wrote. So if you check for one developer product ID here and another one in here, then it's only going to check for this one because it overwrites this one. Just like how I set blue to be true, I printed it, and then I set blue to be false in another spot, and then it was false. And this can only be used in a server script, so one process receipt function in your entire game place ever, per game universe, place, whatever, and only in a server script. Now the argument we receive is receipt info, whatever you want to call it. It's a table of information for our receipt. Receipt info is passed with the following fields. We get the player ID, the place ID where it was purchased, the purchase ID. Okay, that's useful. The product ID of the product, the currency type, because that's still relevant, and how much they spent. So I'm gonna take my shoes off. Okay, Kitty, no more lap time. Alright, so what are some good practices? Oops. Okay, so in my game Octopus, I have a table like this called star data, and basically the 65 millionth or something entry is going to be 7,500 because I want to grant them 7,500 stars when they purchase this product. So local product ID equals receipt info dot product ID. Okay, not camel case, or that's camel case, I think. What I'm using. Player ID, player the receipt info dot player ID. And yes, guys, you can define more than one variable on a same line like this. Local player ID is the receipt info dot player ID. Product ID is receipt info dot product ID. I'm just going to change that to info to shorten it up. I just like to do this when I'm having similar variables and I want to cut down on lines, because you don't want to look at a bunch of variable lines for the same stuff. If star data product ID, then basically we're checking if the product ID, which is the ID of the developer product we're using here, we want to check if that's in the table, and it is, because I pasted that key in there. That's the number of the key and this is the value. Then we would do like player. I know a lot of you guys still probably use leader stats, or store your stats in server storage or whatever. Player.leader stats.stars.value equals plus star data product ID. And that would give them 7,500 stars. This is not how I do it in my game, because that's bad. And I'm going to show you guys a good way to keep track of data, as opposed to my last data store tutorial, which in all honesty was pretty bad. I am ashamed of myself for making that video and teaching you guys a bad way. But I will correct that in the future with a much better video. I need to hurry this video along. It's probably been a while now. Then that's gonna give them their stars, blah blah blah. Else if product ID equals blah blah blah, then you want to clone a rainbow magic carpet to their inventory, whatever, give them a tool, oh right, we also have to always return enum dot product purchase decision dot purchase granted if it went through correctly, which it should have. So if not game dot players wait players get user wait is it shoot okay oh, cat, get off of me. Find player ID for underscore v. I just use an underscore because I'm not going to use the index. Pairs get players do if v.user ID equals ID, then return v, return nil, even though that's really unnecessary because it'll be nil anyway if we don't find the person. Local player equals find player ID. If not player, then we want to return enum dot product purchase decision dot not processed yet. The reason we want to go through all this trouble is because we have to return the one of these things, or else this is not going to work. This is what Roblox requires us to do because we're dealing with users purchasing things with Robux. So basically, you probably just want to put this at the bottom of your function, and if it all went fine and dandy, then it'll be all good. We return that the purchase was granted, but in some case, for example, if the player left the game or something while this purchase was going on, we want to return not processed yet, so as to, you know, just stop the whole thing before we give them their stuff, before it takes Robux out of their account. And yeah, yeah, that's what the wiki does. You can also save it in some purchase history data store. I personally never found use for that. I'm not sure if that's mandatory, but if you wanted to do that, you could. Save the purchase ID, perhaps. And yeah, the last thing I'm gonna show you guys, since this has been a long video so far. I don't know why I just tried to undo all that. I'm gonna move this farther out. Actually, I'm gonna change this into a text box. Focus lost. You have an enterprise argument or something. I don't need any of that right now. Local asset equals nps get product info text equals box text wiki load for me. So this is a really cool method called get product info. Whenever it loads, you pass it an asset ID. I think it also works with developer products too, but you need to pass this info type thing as if it's an asset or a developer product. If it's a product, so if it's an asset, you don't even need that argument. So basically, you pass it an asset ID, you get this big table of a bunch of useful stuff. For example, I sometimes run it through a command line studio. If I want to check the sales on my Game Pass, I can just do shoot. Come on. That was long enough. Okay, I'm gonna use this. Paste it there so I don't lose it. Print asset dot asset type asset dot sales nil 150, so 150 sales. Asset type ID. Yeah, so you can have a list of the asset type IDs here. If it's a Game Pass, it's gonna be 34. So if asset dot asset type ID equals 34, then print is pass. It's a Game Pass. Oops. You know, this works for places too, because you get all this. It just has a lot of useful stuff. I use this to check if the user inputs a valid audio ID, sound, audio. Oh, number 3. Yeah, I don't know what the subcategory is for. I've never used that. but a lot of useful stuff here. I'm going to show you that little command bar magic here before I blast off. Get product info, paste yesterday dot sales 150 sales. This works on anything. We can go to jailbreak, see how many sales their VIP has gotten with the ratings on that thing. 46,801. Okay. Print 46,801 times 0.7. Print. Oh no. Print 700 times 46,801. So they made about 32 million off of that Game Pass alone. Pretty impressive. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna show you for today, guys. If you guys have ideas on what my next tutorial should be, let me know in the comments. As of now, I don't know what it's gonna be. I really just want to work on expanding my game audience and my YouTube audience before I start making the important videos, as I mentioned in a previous video. So that's it for now, guys. I will see you in the next video, hopefully not too long from now.